What is going on, my impossible creators? Again, I appreciate y'all joining in, and let's learn how we did that spec ad that I just did. The first thing we want to really think through is, what's the concept? For anything, it's always what's the great idea or big idea, the insight. I work in advertising, so big idea is what came to mind. But essentially, what it means is what's the insight and what's the story you're trying to tell that everyone can relate to. And in the case of the Toddler Bowl, my insight is the Super Bowl Sunday gives everyone a reason to be competitive, even twin brothers, right? So I thought I could have some fun with that. Now, once you have the idea, we go ahead and really start to roughly sketch out or even prompt the images for what this can come together, what it can start looking like, right? And I should show y'all something right here where you should know at this point, if you've watched enough of my videos, I use Nano Banana Pro. It's what I would recommend. I'm no sponsor of Higgsfield. I just love using this platform because it's all encompassing. It literally has all your images here, image models here, Nano Banana Pro, Seedream, etc. They even just added what was the Grok here. I'm sure they added Grok somewhere. I saw it earlier. Anyway, you can just look at the new tags and you'll see the ones that they just added. And same goes for video. You go to video and you can see, yeah, there you go, Grok image. You can see all the video models here. You select it, and that's how you would toggle between the image models and the video models. So again, go to Nano Banana Pro, type in, if it was the Toddler Bowl, I would type what's the onesie colors that they're wearing, and that they're twin brothers basically in the crib looking at each other competitively. Type something like that. So now the reason I say that is because initially I had them wrestle each other a little bit, where there was a little bit of shoving, almost innocently, but I found that was becoming a little bit too much for the generator. So I say this because on the next slide we talk about stress testing, and that was one example of stress testing the existing concept. And the reason you want to do that is because you get a certain amount of credits to use, and you don't want to spend a lot of your time and energy and money, aka credits, before realizing in the end that you can't even really pull it off what you're trying to, right? Your vision. So I would say go ahead and test out even animations to see if it's doable. This is a perfect example of testing out animating an idea before fully blowing it out. So I had this one concept before doing the Toddler Bowl where you saw a football thrown in the air, tight spiral, and then the pigskin peels away to reveal the championship trophy, and that goes through the clouds and lands on hands catching it. You see one side of the hands, it's the one team, and then it kind of turns dynamically in a cool way. Its camera spins. You see the other glove, and it's the opposing team, and then it drops from camera, and maybe you see Super Bowl 50, whatever number 50 Super Bowl we're in. That logo comes in the background. You know what I found out? That AI doesn't know how to do tight spirals yet. So the football was always morphing in a weird way, so it wasn't flying the way I wanted it to, like you see here on this sketch. So I abandoned this idea, or back pocketed it for next year maybe, because again, AI, I've said it before, AI is just, this is the worst it's going to be. It's going to get better tomorrow, and then a month from now, etc. So I'll back pocket that, maybe do it next year. So moving on to the next slide, visual production. So lock in your storyboards, and now, so once you have your storyboards and all the way you want this kind of to play out, give it a treatment, right? How do you want it to look? For mine, I said I want a cinematic film look, so I added a little bit of film grain to it, and that gave it a nostalgic feel, which I really liked. So you can see the before is this one on the left, and then the after is on the right. The way to accomplish this, there's two ways. One way is to, if you know how to use Photoshop, create the treatment on a layer and just drop all your images, the before images, under the layer, and then save it, resave them. So that's what I did. I know how to use Photoshop. But if you don't know how to use Photoshop, I think you can just go to Nano Banana and provide it with two images. The second image being either pulled from a movie clip that you like, or even prompting. Give this, if it's not pulled from a movie clip, you say, give this a cinematic look, right? Keep everything exactly the same, give it a cinematic look, and then see what it spits out. If you like it, now you can drag that as image 2 for all your other images. So you drag image 1 for another scene. Let's say it's the forehead scene. I would drag image 1, and then image 2 would be my treated look. And I would say, I would prompt, keep image 1 the same, only change the treatment, the coloring and treatment of the image, like use image 2 as a reference. Does that make sense? And you can always ask your AI that you like to use, ChatGPT, Claude, whatever, of what's the right prompt to use to get that treatment. So that's just another thought that came to mind if you don't know how to use Photoshop. To build out your frames, there's also Higgs field shots, which is extremely cool. And what shots does is it basically, you upload one image and then you get 9 cinematic angles. And then you can go ahead and select your favorite, and it increases that one so the quality is usable. Also, what I provided y'all with is a link to it being explained. So you can check out this YouTube tutorial, and that'll show you how, like in 5 minutes, what it is. All right, cool. So then next is step 4, executing the animations to these. So I've said this before. If you're following me, you're hopefully getting the hang of this, and it's all right. Repetition actually helps things stick. So apologies, but not really. Sorry, not sorry for repeating myself, because I'm helping it stick. Is 90% of the time I use Kling 2.5 Turbo, and that's because it has this start frame, end frame panel here. And I love that because it maximizes control. I can have a start frame. I think on the next slide I actually cover it. Yeah, I can drop in for the scene where the milk splashed into the air. So the start frame is an empty wall, right? Or shot towards an empty wall. And then we see the end frame being the milk splash in the air. So now I can go ahead and prompt milk splashes into the air. And now I know more or less what it's gonna look like, right? Because I gave it a start and end frame. And that's gonna be 90% of the time. The other 10%, 15, 20% is going to be using the latest Kling model. And this is for instances where there's no new elements introduced. So for example, where I have the curtains just blowing in the wind, that's all I need is one image, right? So I don't need to start end, because it's gonna end the same way. So I dragged the curtain shot and I just prompted curtains blowing in the wind. And then it nailed what I was hoping it did. And that's the video that I used. So this is to give you an idea of when to use whichever model. So then next is edit, right? So what I like to do is I like to bring the different clips into CapCut. I use CapCut. So I bring the clips into the space, and if you want me to share a CapCut tutorial so you can learn how to use it, if you don't know how to use it, I can do that. This won't go too deep into using CapCut. I just want to give y'all an idea of my process. I use CapCut to bring it all together. I don't have initially the sounds. I just want to see how the videos look strung together. And if I like what I have, then the next step is bringing in the sound, right? So for sound effects, I use ElevenLabs. And for music, I use Suno. And actually over here, I just want to quickly show y'all how to get to sound effects. Once you go to ElevenLabs, you'll see on the left-hand side, the panel there's sound effects. So you click on sound effects, and then under describe a sound, you can type in any sound that you want. You know, let's type in group of people walking in a city. And then you can even control how long that goes for. So let's say we want 2 seconds. And what is this? Prompt influence. So I guess this is how strong you want it to hurt, like to listen to what you just prompted. And then this is if you want it to loop. All right, so I have it off. I'm gonna go ahead and generate that, and let's hear what we got. Not bad, I actually like it too. If we needed it for something. So this was just to show y'all how quick it works, and I love that it provides you with 4 options off the bat. So then you just pick the best one and download it. So I guess how do you download it? Is the down button right here, or down arrow. Download it and then drag it over to, I like to organize it, so a folder called sounds, and then open that folder called sounds and drag all the sounds over to CapCut. Now for Suno, for AI music, like I mentioned earlier, I love to use Suno. This is Suno. So you hit create, or you hit create, you end up here. I'll drop in, let me type in, I might end up using this song for the background music to this tutorial. So 90s, I like to use 90s underground rap or hip hop lo-fi, just so it's not distracting in the background. And then I always hit instrumental if I'm not guiding it to like have any words. In some of my animations I have words play out, but that's like different. So this is instrumental. You hit create. All right, it's still generating the full song, but what I like about it is that you can start playing it before it finishes generating. So let's listen. So they give you 2 options. I dig that. I might end up using that. So the next thing is to bring it all together. Really, it's go back to CapCut, play with your audio, bring the music in, mix it, cut it where you need to. All right, so thanks for watching. Again, appreciate all those who subscribe. Please like, that helps the algorithm. So more people can start to see these tutorials. And I am Joel Arzu, Creative Director. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at joelarzu@gmail.com. And you can check out, if you're not already subscribed to the rest of to my Impossible Creations, where I'll do a whole bunch of other tutorials for AI. you can do it over here. I'm at myimpossiblecreations.com. Okay, thanks. Bye.